Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Jeff with AutoHunter.com, and today we're going to be looking at this awesome 1968 Dodge Dart GSS Mr. Norm Special. But before we get into all the looks, the goodies, and the specs of the car you see here, first a quick word from our sponsor.
Today's AutoHunter Cinema video is brought to you by Land Air Sea. Keep tabs on all your valuable assets on the palm of your hand. Remember, with Land Air Sea, theft is temporary. Visit landairc.com to order your Land Air Sea GPS unit for your classic vehicle.
So in front of me here is a 1968 Dodge Dart GSS Mr. Norm Special. Now, while if you can tell from the appearance, this is not your original one of 50 Dodge GSS Darts from Mr. Norm's, what this is it's an updated car that was actually done in partnership between Norm Kraus, that's Mr. Norm, and Blue Moon Motorsports to build the beast that you see here. The car was, of course, inspired by the original GSS cars, and it features a little bit of Hemi Superstock inspiration in the car as well, looking at this awesome hood that is fiberglass, obviously, that you see sitting here. Now, let's go ahead and let's talk about a little bit of the backstory of this car and what GSS means. GSS actually stands for Grand Spaulding Dodge, and what happened there is that comes from Mr. Norm's dealership that he had, which was actually the most successful performance muscle car Dodge dealer between 1962 and 1974, which is really interesting because obviously this is a very priority performance focused vehicle, and it has the performance looks to boot. And it's even more special that Mr. Norm partnered up to build these. They only built 40 of these, which means this car is one of 40, and every car was built to customer specifications. Now, looking at the front here, you can see that this does have hood pins as well. So let's go ahead and pop those off real fast. Go ahead and lift the fiberglass hood here. Super lightweight. And then underneath we have this massive engine. This is a 426 Hemi, which has been bored out to 572 cubic inches, has two massive 4-barrel carburetors on there, and now it's producing somewhere in the neighborhood of about 830 horsepower. Some additional upgrades include things like MSD ignition and some of the other components you see lying around the engine bay here. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this back down. Now let's talk some more about Mr. Norm. So one of the other special things that Mr. Norm did is he was sure to upgrade every single vehicle, right? So he was one of the only Dodge dealerships to actually have a dyno inside of his dealership. So his first sort of example and testing of that would actually come when they brought in a 383 cubic inch V8, and he found that it was only making 180 horsepower. He said, what's going on here? And then was able to ramp it up, and it made a whopping 325 horsepower from that same engine, and thus started the Mr. Norm Special. He would even go so far as when a customer came in to buy a Mopar like the very one you see here, he would actually go on to go ahead and tune the car in front of the customer so they could have their very own performance car from Mr. Norm's. Now, taking a look at the exterior here, you can see we have some more GSS stuff, including a Mr. Norm's GSS badge on the back here as well. And let's go ahead and let's take a look at this updated interior. So if we go ahead and come up here and go ahead and open the door, you'll see the custom interior which has been done for these, which again, all of these components, including the interior and some of the other parts, are specific to each car because they're only built 40 of them. And of course, they're super cool. So while they are not quite the original cars that would have been equipped similar from the factory, they are actually cars that would have been considered resto mods or future produced cars in that case. This car does have a manual transmission, as you saw peeking on the inside there, and of course we have some updated suspension components, and it's sitting on a classic set of Kragers, which look absolutely fantastic. If you're building an awesome car, you can't go wrong with Kragers or even the American Racing wheels. Here is that awesome badge that pays homage to the original Mopar stripes we would have seen, but also has the Mr. Norm's GSS badging as well, which is pretty cool. And coming around to the back here, we have the trunk open, which you can just see we have the battery, and of course your standard floor lighting, but this awesome dual exhaust as well that comes along with the suspension that's set up underneath. That will also allow you to do some awesome drag racing should you wish to do so. So a pretty cool backstory. It's nice to see a redo. We've obviously seen some stuff from Chevrolet and stuff like that where they're bringing back Yenko or Copo cars or all that type of stuff. So this is a really cool tribute to bring it all together as far as Mr. Norm's cars, and so it's a really cool respect because they only built 50 of the original Darts that would have actually had 440s in them. So this is a new interpretation that's powered by a 426, and it's really exciting because you know that 830 horsepower, this thing will really move. So with that, if you like that video and can throw us a like, we'd really appreciate it, and get subscribed because we produce videos like this all the time. And with that, thank you so much for watching.